Breaking news to start Sports Center tonight. Senior NBA insider Shams Charania joining us now from Vegas. Shams, you have a wild story in Vegas featuring former teammates. What exactly happened?
Kev, now former Miami Heat teammates Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro got into a physical altercation on Friday morning here in Las Vegas. Sources tell me that Bam Adebayo struck Tyler Herro in the face area as they were walking off the practice court at a Las Vegas hotel. This happened when Bam Adebayo, I'm told, approached Tyler Herro about comments that Herro made on social media critiquing Bam after Herro was traded from Miami to Milwaukee over the last couple of weeks. And they were teammates for 7 years together. And we know over the last couple years, Herro's name has been in trade talks. But after some social media comments, Bam Adebayo, I'm told, approached Tyler Herro on it. That's when they got into a confrontation, a back and forth that culminated in Bam Adebayo striking Tyler Herro.
Shams, are you hearing anything about injuries sustained in this fight by Tyler Herro?
Kev, there's nothing, as far as I'm told, as far as an injury or a noticeable cut on Tyler Herro, but there was a strike to the face area, and now we'll see how much the league, the players union, what involvement they're going to have here in the coming days.
Shams Charania reporting again on a breaking news story, a wild one with Bam Adebayo striking Tyler Herro earlier today in Vegas on a practice court. Shams, if we have any other updates, we'll bring you back live here on SportsCenter. Thank you.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Pablo Torre, and there is no one else I'd rather host this show with than you, Tony.
I'm Frank Isola. Tony abandoned you. Deal with it, kid. He ain't here. I was a late sub.
Tough to discover.
Like Mikel Marino, I was a late sub. Hopefully I'll come on and score like he did. Oh,
jeez.
A little soccer ball.
Remind me of him. Young, athletic.
I wish.
Yeah, off the bench.
Well, I was waiting.
Kelleher's favorite.
I was waiting for the word good looking. You didn't include that.
Strong jawline.
There you go. There you go. Welcome to PTI. Mike and Tony are off on a yoga retreat. So I'm joined by my good friend from the podcast, Pablo Torre Finds Out, Mr. Pablo Torre, everyone. They must be Belgium fans. All right, let's start today with the World Cup. Spain scored in the first half against Belgium, then surrendered a goal for the first time in the tournament, and it stayed 1-1 until the final minutes when Spain scored on a rebound. So Spain advances to the semis, where they'll face Kylian Mbappe and France. That is a dream matchup. And we've got Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, and Lionel Messi all on the field tomorrow. So Pablo, where do you want to start?
I want to start with the fact that this tournament field is the biggest there's ever been, right? 48 teams, and yet at the very end, it's as if this was exactly how you wanted it to go.
Yep.
You have, by the way, in Belgium, I wonder if Christian Pulisic just feels a little bit better about any of this, because look at what Belgium just did to Spain, right? Took them to the wire. America, hey, maybe straighten up your spine just a little bit. But to me, I'm looking at England, I'm looking at Norway. And I'm looking at the idea that Erling Haaland is going to walk out there at 25 years old, was born in England, and he gets to be, if there's anybody who's going to come out of this with their Q rating in America just jacked all the way up, because Messi's already so up there, and of course, Haaland is himself literally enormous. But I think that likability and that skill and that skull and all these goals he scored, I'm focusing mostly right there for this semifinal.
I love when you said this, when 48 teams, but the teams that you would expect. Are you saying that's the team that FIFA wanted, or the teams you would expect? Because it does seem
quite convenient.
It does seem like that. All right, first of all, let's give Belgium a lot of credit, because Spain hadn't been scored upon. So De Ketelaere, the guy that scored the 2 goals against the U.S. on Monday, he got the equalizer late in the first half. That was a great showing by Belgium. Their goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois had to come out of the match. His replacement gives up the rebound, and then the player Mikel Marino, who plays for Arsenal, has a habit of doing this. He scored. So that's heartbreaking for Belgium. But we are getting a dream matchup now between France and Spain, who a lot of people think were the 2 best teams going into the tournament.
Yes.
Now, as for the other side of the bracket, you're so right, though, about Holland and Norway with Erling Haaland against England with Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. Haaland plays over in England in the Premier League for Man City. He knows a lot of these players. He'll be going up against some of his teammates in the game on Sunday. tomorrow. I was there over the weekend and watched what he did to Brazil. And this is what you love about Erling Haaland. You know, Gabriel and Marquinhos are two of the best center backs in the world. And he threw them around like they were rag dolls. He has just been the most dominant player in the tournament. He's becoming a bigger star. You see him on social media. It looks like he's having a grand old time. He gets it. He performs on the field. Off the field, he's great with kids. He's having fun with different foods that he's eating, engagement with the fans. So that part I love. The winner of that will get the winner of Argentina, Switzerland. Nobody's mentioned Switzerland yet. Who knows if they'll spoil the party. But I'll say this about Argentina with Messi. Those players around him, they are as tough as nails. And they were down 2-0 late to Egypt, and they scored 3 goals in 11, 12 minutes, whatever it was, to win it. And they'll be a tough out. I feel like they're hanging on by a thread, Pablo. So I do think they're vulnerable. I think the winner of Norway-England gets to the final.
Yeah, the Argentina story is so interesting, too, because it reminds me a bit of when you saw the Dream Team in the 92 Olympics, because all these guys, they play Michael Jordan, and then, of course, you have Instagram now. Yep. They're taking photos and posting it with Messi, like the shot that they're in together. That's the kind of historical figure that they're dealing with. But I want to move on to the present here. At Wimbledon in England, because the men's semis over in the tennis had dramatic storylines heading into today's matches. You had a second-seeded Goliath and Alexander Zverev facing the wild-card David and Arthur Ferry, and you had top-ranked and defending champ Jannik Sinner facing a man 15 years his senior, the 7-time champ Novak Djokovic. But the action was pretty anticlimactic in the end, as Zverev and Sinner both won in straight sets. And so, Frank, your takeaway from who won and how these matches actually played out.
Yeah, we didn't get a day like we had yesterday with Mahova and the Coco Gauff, that semifinal. Straight sets for both winners today. Zverev, it's interesting. If we go back to 2022 when he lost to Nadal in the semifinals, remember he broke his ankle in the semifinals? And, you know, he was out for a while. And then going into the French Open this year, he held the title of the best player on tour to never win a major. Well, he wins the French. Now he's one match away from winning Wimbledon as well. And we haven't seen a German win it. Boris Becker, I think, won it 3 times in the 80s. Then Michael Stich, who I used to love when Bud Collins would call him a Stich figure because of his, you know, long, lean frame. But Novak Djokovic against Sinner. You know, Sinner, since falling behind 2-1 in the first round, has won 17 straight sets, so he's been dominant. But I'll say this about Novak Djokovic. You know, if you go all the way back to 91, when Pablo Torre was a little kid, Jimmy Connors made an unbelievable run to the semifinals of the U.S. Open, and he was 39. It was treated like the greatest thing we've ever seen. Djokovic does it, and nobody thinks that it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's still impressive that he can perform at a high level. The problem is, after playing 5 sets in his previous match in the quarterfinals, 3 of the sets went to a tiebreaker. He's just not good enough anymore to get past that and win a semis and win a final of a major.
I was 6 years old when Jimmy Connors was doing that. I am 40 years old watching Novak Djokovic look every piece of his 39 years.
You're right.
He played 5 hours and 15 minutes before, and in this one, he said after the match, he was more explosive, he was more reactive, he was better than me, and that is both, I think, the exhaustion you allude to and also just the age